Jean-Claude Van Damme movies to know. I don't know if I've ever actually watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Your would-be kidnapper stops by the door and addresses you before opening it. That reminds me, how much space do I have left on my computer? I quickly check while I'm still here. 400 gigabytes, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not used to having so much space. I haven't even used my SSD. I know what you're thinking. Can I have your name, please? I'm gonna keep calling you Vamp until you do. You're thinking as soon as he opens the door, I'm making a run for it. Maybe I can outrun him. I'll save you the trouble. You can't.
I guess we're supposed to be a real firebrand or something. It's like, dude, I'm cool, like.
He's probably been through this enough times that, like, even if it's 1 out of 5, it's just annoying. Every time it happens. By the way, Stranger Backwards is Regnarts.
It's like from Cool Boy.
Cool Boy?
It's like a Cool Boy name, yeah.
Yeah, Regnarts. Thulgar. You can either get inside my car and I'll get you to where you need to be, or you can try something stupid that you'll regret later. Do I make myself clear? Should I say clear as day, or why don't you turn me in?
I say the second, yeah.
Why don't you just turn me in? Because no one would benefit from that, and besides, I have my orders. Let's just get in this black Cadillac. Sure. That's the default. That's number 1.
Yeah, if you're just mashing along.
I like how all the other ones are like, I'm scared. Okay, sure. All right, go with the flow. Make a run for it. He put me in the backseat. He's looking at me in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I guess it would work that way, more or less, but I like how it shows only his eyes.
I guess vampires show up in mirrors in this game.
Maybe to other vampires. It could also be, it depends on the mirror, because the reason why vampires don't show up in mirrors normally is because they were made with silver, which is like a pure metal, yeah.
I hadn't heard that before.
So, if it's not a silverized mirror, if it's some other mirror, then...
Where did you hear that from?
I don't remember where I heard it from, but, it makes sense because it's like, you know, silver kills werewolves, silver mirrors don't reflect vampires, that kind of thing.
It's kind of like aluminum in the Cosmere, being like a magically inert metal.
Side windows seem light-proof. That's a good idea if you're a vampire. Did I die?
Let's get a name.
Who are you? Who the hell are you anyway? I'm the ferryman. Oh, I hope your name is Karen. That'd be really cool. Not Karen, but like Charon.
Well, it's all the same. Karen.
Well, not like K-A-R in...
well, yeah.
I want to speak to your manager. I'm not in the mood to wax poetic. Just give me your name. Just remember, if you want to survive the next 24 hours, you'll have to play along. I hope I survive longer than that. This is a stuffy, smelly nightmare. Stranger smirks. This is for your own good. Times being what they are, you should consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, it sounds like we were dropped in the middle of something, you know?
You could have been born in Brazil. Alienate the audience. That's the goal. You drive in silence for about 20 more minutes. As exhaustion catches up with you, the streetlights fade into a blur. Eventually, the car stops and the doors open. Underground parking garage. My mom's scared of those. She's like got minor claustrophobia, so she doesn't like underground parking garages. Particularly if they're like low ceiling.
Yeah.
The man points to a nearby door. Just points. Go in, make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry, again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow and you'll get your answers. So the question is there like a bunch of like bottled blood or blood packs in the fridge, or is there just like a body curled up in there?
I would assume blood packs of some sort.
There's a little Pyramicman from
Oh. Pyramicman.
No windows, just a simple bed and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. A small fridge is humming away in the corner, accompanied by a rattling AC fan on the wall. guess I've got no choice but to trust you. I mean, what am I gonna do? Took you this long to figure out?
Our protagonist looks like someone.
I kind of see it, but I can't, like, it's so distant that I can't even begin to think of who it could be.
It's more like the attitude that inspired the picture than...
I'm not always this polite about it. This time I was specifically told to mind my manners. So believe me when I tell you, considering how this night could have turned out, being stuck in here for a night is a really good deal. Nice. Now get in or I'll throw you in. Why would I try to... Maybe it's just the kind of person I am. In this kind of situation, it's like, listen, I'm out of my element. I gotta figure out what to do, you know? I'm not gonna just, like, make a run for it. Light might make me explode. I can't just make a run. I don't know what time it is. We're in an underground parking garage. It could be daytime outside.
Yeah.
You step inside, the stranger nods. Good night. Claw marks all over. Some guests weren't satisfied with their stay. I'm giving this a poor review on Yelp. Decided not to dwell on it and check the fridge.
Tomato soup.
Red liquid, no label.
Do you need me to grab more tissues, or?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Best to leave it for now. I think the reason why this cold hit me so hard is it must have been a combination of a regular cold with like sinusitis or something. Because I'm still like blowing my nose and stuff.
Still got gunk.
Yeah, I've still got gunk. My nose gets scabby.
It's worse. Rub it raw, blowing it.
Well, I think it's not just that, but like it gets scabby on there in the inside because I got like I don't know if it's from blowing it or just like some infection scabby stuff, but then like you can't breathe well until you clear out your airway, and the only way to do that is like rub it a little bit and mess up the scabs. Anyway, sorry for the disgusting descriptions. Anyway, it's gonna get more disgusting from here, I'm sure. You killed a man tonight, or did you? He tried to hit me with a whip.
He definitely punched you.
He was a Belmont. He deserved it. If he was a real Belmont, he would have killed me. He was a... The word eludes me. He was a fraud.
An imposter.
An imposter, that's the word. Probably. The girl at the club, Jess might have put her up to it. You really think Jess put a vampire up to turning you into a vampire?
I wonder if the vampire thing has even occurred to him yet.
I guess not. The guy never actually said I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
He's really bad at his job. Like, all he does is try to pick a fight with me and be like, yeah, people try it all the time. And all my options are like a 50-50 of make a break for it or do what he says.
Yeah.
And he never even tells me, oh, by the way, you're a vampire. And he knew that I didn't get it because I asked about the sign. He's like, oh, you don't even understand. Now he's back with them and they're all laughing their asses off. Plummeting into an endless void. That must be what death feels like. Maybe. Room is unchanged. The lamp is still on. The AC is still rattling. The refrigerator is still humming.
Dang.
My record's 19, I think. Maybe 19 and a half. But I think I was 6. That's kind of not fair. Because 6 sleep is different from regular sleep. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone and you feel no thumping in your chest. Yeah, how could they prank you into that, you know?
Yeah.
Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? Let's get philosophical. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. It's like, ASMR, but backwards. You open the fridge. The bag is still there. If it is soup, then its color and texture are off. You recognize the smell immediately. Tomato soup. Holy shit. That's not likely. It's bagged blood. It is enticing. Ooh. two choices.
And one's got a different mark by it.
Is that a moon or is that just a bullet point?
I think it's a moon.
Interesting.
I think they've all been moons up to this point. I wonder if one...
I never realized.
I wonder if you've got a vampire meter or something like that.
Drink the blood. Drink the blood. Drink the blood. Tastes bland. Cheap supermarket juice. Nothing like the real thing. Nothing like what you had the last time. I wonder if it's better if it's fresh, warm. Somehow you don't feel sick in a weird messed up way. You can't help but think it feels nourishing. Do I level up?
Get some nice swallowing sounds.
You look at the info pressed into the side of the bag. 450 milliliters. Half a liter. Like a pint, I guess.
That much? I don't know.
I want to say a liter is close to a quart. So
I don't know how much a quart is. Liquid dimensions are not something I normally need to, like, consider.
I don't remember at what point in my childhood I went through this, but I memorized all the important ones. So it's,
this is 222 milliliters.
That means nothing.
So, well, no, he drank about 2 of these.
Okay, yeah, so that one is 7.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a pint. Because 8 ounces is...
See, it actually works better when I've got the can in my hand and I can just imagine 2 small Cokes that he just chugged.
It also helps if you donate blood a lot, you know that a pint is a regular blood donation.
That makes sense.
It's weird when you put it into liters because 450 is not an even number, and you're like, 450? Why didn't you get it 500? Like, it's a pint.
Yeah.
It's because a liter is close to a quart, but it's a little bit more. So it goes cup, 2 cups is a pint, 2 pints is a quart, 4 quarts is a gallon.
Cup, pint, quart, gallon.
And it's a 224, and that's easy to remember because quart is quarter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It gets a little messed up when you start going by like drink sizes because you've got 2 liters, and then you've got the like 12-ish ounce bottles, and the 8-ish ounce cans.
They just made whatever sizes they wanted.
Pretty much, yeah. I think 12-ounce can is kind of normal. I'm trying to remember, I forget. That intoxication high you felt when. I feel like it should be intoxicating high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like incorrect. I feel like that's probably fine, but an image of that corpse crossed your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? I was an upstanding member of society, reading the Communist Manifesto and going to clubs and doing drugs, and now I'm drinking blood? That's too far.
Where is my life going? Not a politician yet.
I'm one step closer. Zing. All right. The lock click and the door open. The well-dressed stranger. Immaculate suit again. I was actually wondering, is he wearing the same suit? Because surely you would want to change clothes over the course of a day, but you wouldn't want to do all the sprite work to have like multiple...
I think the assumption is that people change clothes, but...
It looks vaguely the same.
You don't want to do new
yeah, I normally don't think about it, but just because they mentioned the suit, I was like, yeah, I wonder if he's wearing the same suit. Granted, I mean, if it's a suit, you might actually wear the same suit. If you're wearing a suit, you're probably not going around
jogging in it or whatever.
Jogging and like eating soup clumsily. You're probably being really careful about your appearance. Like a tamed hawk. Hawks are cool. Good evening. Slept well? It'd be cool to get into like falconeering and stuff, but it's one of those things like, yeah, 7 years later you can use a hawk. It's like, Granted, I mean, 7 years from now, you either have a hawk or you don't, whether you do it now or not. So, I see you had a bit of a snack. I like how this is the same as before. Was that really blood? Because it felt kind of watered down. Type RHO negative. Oh, positive. Not that easy to get. Glad you liked it. I hope I don't have to worry about blood type.
Yeah, that's something I don't generally see addressed in vampire stories.
Because I'm a B positive. If I get A blood, it's going to mess me up. B positive, yeah. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. I knew what my blood type was at one point, but
My siblings are
no longer.
are O. Maybe O positive, maybe O negative. I'm not sure about the positive or negative, but I think they're O, which means I think my parents are OO and BO. It actually works really well with the Punnett square. Unlike most actual genes, like hair color, eye color, those are big fat Punnett squares that have like 16 boxes across and down that have different effects. Anyway, the man motions to it politely, but with a stern look on his face. That's why I'm gonna follow the rules, okay?
Hijack the car. Do you even have the keys? Like, maybe they're...
The car's humming.
Oh, so it's still running, but dang, they really want us to play this guy a certain way.
Is there a... I'm curious. Save and exit? Man. I was wondering if you could just, like, make a save and see what happens, but... I'll get inside the car. But yeah, I was gonna say, that's why I'm trusted you here, man. I just look terrible. I don't know what it is. Something about me, I just don't look good.
Look kind of rough, I guess.
My hair's unkempt.
And I guess it's, I mean, your tie is kind of askew, your undershirt is like got an extra button open, you got your sleeves
I normally do that.
up, you know, like, just an overall disheveled look, I guess.
But my face just looks bad. I don't know what it is. I don't like that look. I think it's like the big like model lips and the like stupid chin beard and like fuzzy hair. Just make me look like I'm trying too hard.
He reminds me a tiny bit of Jimenez from Strange Journey.
Just a little
bit.
He had, I want to say he had some chin, but he also had like sideburns, and I think he had cropped hair.
I think his hair was cropped. I don't remember about the sideburns or not.
I might have sideburns, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm touched, sincerely. Thank you, Vamp. When do I meet Fortune? Actually, that girl who bit me could be Fortune.
Yeah?
Her hair wasn't blonde, but... Oh yeah, but about Punnett squares, that's why, like, my brother was born, dark hair, skin that tans beautifully. I can't find any familiar streets or landmarks. My sister was born, dark hair, she freckles in the sun. I was born platinum blonde. The sun just burns me. Bit of traffic.
He's no longer platinum blonde, in case the audience is wondering.
Yeah, my hair just gradually became sandier and dirtier, as they say, dirty blonde.
It's pretty brown.
Now it's brown.
Yeah.
My family still, to this day, they're like, it's like a dirty blonde. I'm like,
no.
Individual strands in the light, if you look at them, appear kind of blonde, but overall, it's just brown.
Yeah.
Driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. Why am I describing myself to people watching this? You don't need to know what I look like. I look like the logo in the corner that's covering up the text. Let me fix that. This is what I look like. I have to move this text and logo every game I play. Because there's always a different... Oh, it's going to cover up the choices, though. Ah. Come on. We can do this.
Yeah, top right.
There we go.
Beautiful.
It's a balancing act. Yeah, the door is locked all right. The piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks sturdy too. Oh. I didn't realize he had glass in between us. That's probably smart. You're hungry? Yeah. Bask in the afterglow of your last meal.
Wasn't much of a meal.
I don't know, if you're a vampire, that's about as meal as it gets, you know?
Cold Blood. Yeah.
In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I've read that book. Kind of. Skimmed through a lot of it.
I read it. I mean...
I skimmed through a lot of it, but I did read it. A lot of them concern blood. This is Bloodborne. 20 or so minutes to get your destination. The door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York, that much is certain. Queens, maybe. After me, no sudden movements, please. It's a shame. I don't think I can imitate Vamp's voice. He's voiced by Phil Lamar, which is crazy because Phil Lamar does all the like stereotypical black voices in cartoons, but then he does Vamp and he's just Vamp. It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Trying to get in the right headspace. He like gets the knife and cuts his chest. 3 today, or perhaps 4. Can't do it. He's too good. I can do a snake and riding a little bit better, but maybe when I don't have a sinus infection or something. 2 large men in suits flank the door on both sides. Oh, they're gonna get a flanking bonus. That's +1. They give your companion a nod as you approach, and sneak attack if you're a rogue. Prompted by the stranger guiding you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour, to say the least. There's some interesting works of art. Is that a naked lady? Or is that abstract?
I can't tell.
I might be extrapolating. I might be seeing what I want to see. About 24 faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. Nice. The visitors are well dressed, for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. And my suit is still like, it got soaked in sweat and I haven't changed. I'm wearing the sweaty clothes from Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Great. The atmosphere is polite, unnaturally so. It's like Thanksgiving. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. You see open contempt on a few faces. I didn't do anything. Okay, maybe I killed a guy, but...
And they could just be looking at Karen over there.
Yeah. There were people who tried to run away and he just shot his arm out like a hook and grabbed them and pulled them back. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you as if wishing to appraise your worth. Flex! Deska? Previous job interview. Oh man. I remember my previous job interview, it was a Zoom call that didn't work. And then they ghosted me forever. That was a terrible job interview. It never even existed. It was like aborted in the womb. It was like being a piece of livestock inspected from all sides for any imperfections so your wage could be haggled down. It was dehumanizing and made you feel dirty. But some people are into that. When they called you the next day to offer you the job, you declined. Even when you're a nobody, you become even less if you trade away your dignity for a paycheck.
No wonder you can't afford your apartment.
I wonder what I do. I read Twitter all day. Oh, the state of your bank account never did. The woman. Good evening, Kadir. Kadir. I'm gonna keep calling him Vamp.
Yeah.
And to you, Childa?
Child. Probably just fancy vampire child.
That E bothers me because it's already pronounced child.
I think it's just decoration. Yeah.
How do you decorate your speech? She's not writing it to me, you know? The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers. You being brought here against your will. I mean, kind of. I did avoid hijacking the car. I did choose this, kind of. The room awaits your response.
I don't think they're waiting for you to respond. You're probably a nobody.
Good evening, miss. You're addressing the Prince of New York City, Helene Pennard, child of Michaela. So I wonder if it's, like, vampire parent child? And that's why it has a different spelling, because you're not literally their child, but you were vampired, you were sired by them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Prince Pennard. Thank you, my sheriff, but I am capable of introducing myself. And yet you did not.
Yeah.
She's somewhat plain looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm. We're assessing her stats as we speak. She has influence. You may address me as Prince, child. Or is it the artist formerly known as Prince?
Introduction into Unlife. Man, not a lot of details for something that just seemed to happen, you know?
I guess, I don't know how Vamp even knew what was going on. I guess they were keeping eyes on, and like they were watching the Latina girl and she escaped and they're like, well, she bit someone. All right. And they go in and I've murdered some guy. And they're like, well, we can pretty well piece together what happened here.
True.
The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. I didn't do anything. Although, I think that's how it normally happens on Vampire the Masquerade, right? Like,
yeah,
you're brought into this, and it's like, all right, time to behead both of you.
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
Like, I didn't do this. Our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. I don't like the idea of Sheriff Vamp. That rubs me the wrong way. Give her the ... treatment. Just point to Vamp. Shall we begin? The Court of New York City. Oh no. At least I'm white. It might go easy on me.
So I wonder if any bad choices you make up until this point would kill you here?
Oh man. It's like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Turns out I was supposed to save some cat somewhere and I had no clue. I didn't see it. I was supposed to use the pointer and click it. All right. Vamp, please tell us how you found this fledgling. I'm not gonna call him with that. Kadir. Vamp, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court? Prince? Secret society? Make-believe? Are we role-playing?
Kind of stupid. I guess we have a little bit of foreknowledge knowing that we're turning on a game about vampires, but like, come on.
Even then, at some point you have to be like,
let me entertain
vampires.
Let me entertain the possibility. I mean, they brought up Facebook, YouTube, like, come on. There's gotta be some sort of vampire.
A girl bit my neck, and now I have a thirst for blood. And this man says I shouldn't go out in the sun. Am I a werewolf? Probably not. Zombie? Don't think so.
He doesn't have a pulse. He's seen that guy's fangs, like.
If he had played Metal Gear Solid 2, he would know. It's nanomachines. She injected them into my neck. Come on. Everything is explained by nanomachines or parasites. Except ghosts and psychics, those are real. Everything else is science, but those are real. A trusted informant who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. The hunger made him savage a prostitute and his
Wait.
Huh? I don't explain why the guy was naked.
Well, so this sounds like the
man was the prostitute.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I guess I guess I was just under the impression that it was a female only word. I don't think I've ever heard it applied to a man. I mean, like it still makes sense. Just caught me off guard, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, gigolo is kind of similar, but I don't think it's necessarily like a prostitution kind of thing. I think a gigolo is more like a stripper kind of thing. I feel like there's some wiggle room there, but anyway, yeah, prostitutes can be men. Savage a prostitute and his client in a Bronx brothel belonging to one of the ministry. I've already spoken to Sansari. Can you guys not have normal names? Did you pick your names after you became vampires?
I like the extra Q after that C.
I don't. I hate it. There's no UE or anything. They just put the Q there. This is America. We speak English. I am very cooperative. I was pleased to not have to force his compliance. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. Again, a pleasant departure from my usual routine. Again, I think if you approach things differently, it might work better, but... His thirst partially slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house, we had a pleasant enough drive here. I wonder if it would have been way worse if I hadn't drank that blood.
I wonder.
I would have freaked out. Oh, Elysium! Alright, we're gonna fight Theseus and Asterius.
Oh, worst.
Oh, Asterius explained it to me last night, why he's friends with Theseus. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I don't think so, no. What'd he say?
Apparently when he died, he didn't go the normal route, because he's a monster. So he went to Erebus. So when Theseus died, he went and found Asterius in Erebus and brought him to Elysium.
Interesting.
I don't even know where Erebus is.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's a different underworld for non-humans.
Yeah. Huh.
And the Minotaur is right on that line where it's like, well, he's kind of a monster, even if he's half man.
Interesting.
One of the faces. A beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair, and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. It's Harry Potter. Bite him. Thank you, Vamp. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration later. We'll behead you. Slowly. And you're like, wait, isn't that worse?
Yeah.
The matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Vamp picked you up from last night. Who were they? A feisty woman. A Latina woman, very radical, unless she convincingly lied to me. She was special, extraordinary. It was Esmeralda! She had fire, conviction, temper. She seduced me, easily in fact. Made me think she wanted me. I fell for it, and now I'm here.
I feel like this is a little bit more detailed than she wanted. She was super fiery.
Listen,
I'll tell you about how hot she was.
Listen, I have to convince her that I was tricked into this. I had no clue that I was gonna become a vampire. I just thought I was gonna get laid. Feels awkward talking to a room full of strangers about what seemed like a random one-night stand at the time. Not to mention that even though the Latina made an impression on you for sure, her face is already fading from your mind. No, I can imagine it pretty clearly. Granted, it wasn't particularly exceptional. I mean, yeah. She was an Afro-Latina with dark skin and glowing yellow eyes. That's pretty noticeable. You realize she never even told you her name. Well, Vamp, does that sound familiar? No, it does not, or at least not familiar enough. I'll continue the search after we're done here. That chick, she rented our room at the motel. I'll talk to the receptionist. He might know something about her. Unlikely, but regardless, thank you for that observation.
Gotta get heart points.
I'm trying to help. Yeah, Vamp, you're gonna be my,
You have to end up on his route.
I wanna be on the Vamp route. He's had a hard life. The traditions are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny shall be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Vamp, please! I'm trying! I'm trying so hard. You gotta cut me some slack, dude.
Let's meet halfway, man.
Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Vamp. I wish to consult my counsel on this. Make sure everyone is in agreement. Yes! Jury! My peers. He seems strangely relieved. Yes! I knew it!
Excellent. He's just tsundere for us.
See, that's the right kind of tsundere right there. He's more like kudere, I guess. He's like kind of in between.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen a convincing case of kudere yet.
Ever?
Not one that's logged in my mind as kudere, I guess.
What about Madoka Magica?
What about it?
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Her friend. Madoka's friend. The time witch.
Yeah.
She was kudere.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel Kadir here is...
His name's almost kudere.
I don't know. He doesn't seem quiet, more just duty bound.
Well, kudere doesn't necessarily mean quiet. It's cool, is what ku stands for. Because it's cool, dere. So they're playing it cool. They're not like too aggressive. They're just playing it cool.
I can see that then. Yeah.
I don't know why I know these things. I don't need to know these things. Sophie. She does have very red hair. I assume. I'm slightly colorblind.
Yeah,
this all looks very red besides.
Super red.
Like, she is just like a big blob of red to me. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Vamp. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stay in your hands tonight after all. I bet he just doesn't want to get his suit dirty. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve.
It's a lot of emotions.
I'll go get my sword. I really hope it's like a big ol' executioner's sword, because if you're gonna try and like slay me with a rapier, I'm gonna be really upset.
Yeah.
Just like stab right in the throat. You gotta get one like Ganondorf has. The woman in the red dress. You were in quite the pickle. What was that about a sword? With his blade. Last night you became a vampire. Finally! Oh.
The truth comes out! Wait, what?
I'm aware of how ridiculous that sounds. The reason we have these nicer words for it, kindred, being embraced, having a sire, the fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. What's got two thumbs and's a vampire? Me, also you. Really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. I bet none of it's white wine. That's not the right thickness and not the right color either. Maybe it's port? Whiskey? Man, my guy's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Two voices in my head. They're the angel and the devil from Emperor's New Groove. Kronk's shoulder.
Yeah. I know, he's got a point.
No, he's got a point. Look at this. This is often how it plays out by design. Vamp deliberately keeping you in the dark. Oh. If we do nothing, you will be cut down, as sure as day follows night. We need to blow up the sun, but I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out under one condition. I'll take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your deference to Kadir will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I will make sure you face the consequences. You'll make me your servant? In such pedestrian terms, yes, that is the deal, as you so eloquently put it. The alternative is, I fear, final death.
Final death.
I mean, once you enter undeath, I mean, you've already died once.
No items, fox only.
Final death.
Final death.
Sudden destination. Asked to be spared, I will intervene. Remember my condition. Heart-melting smile.
Heart-melting.
None of us have hearts. He does not smile back. The sheriff. Complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard fastened with a colorful sash around his waist. I hope it's a thick sword, at least. Wait, hold on. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating, first and foremost. New York City Camarilla. Well, you know, this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. We're all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions. Traditions suck. Elders are stupid. Youth for life. I'm never growing up. There's no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat. Although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this. Rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man. He must be Kudere too. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate and declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in the absence it is their progeny that must be punished. The sentence's final death to be resolved presently. Kadir, he immediately slices my head off. Game over. Okay. I gotta stop you here. Doesn't happen.
The scrape?
Yeah. You don't want your scabbard to scrape your sword unless it has some kind of like self-sharpening mechanism. That's not what you want. Maybe he has it just for cool points. Beautifully detailed blade, which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. Listen, the safest blade is a sharp blade. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Hold on, I haven't even got a swing.
Yeah,
no strikes. His quiet mumble is audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's out to bat. He must really like the Mets.
Yeah.
Just run out.
Remain silent.
I like how I flickered there for a moment. Hold on, you gotta be humble, dude. You can't just be like, I am not going down like this, damn it. Spare me, I demand. All of a sudden he's just like, whoops, and drops the sword. Chops my head off. If I may. The board elites. Yeah, I do need more,
I can grab another box.
That'd be, quite nice of you. Some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. What a twist! The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Vamp's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this sireless child under your protection? Adopt me, yes! It's always the mouse that gets adopted. Why does he get adopted before me? Potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. Whispers can be heard again. Just behead the fucker. Come on, man. Come on, man. Silence. Thank you.
Sorry.
Just drop it.
It just fell over.
I can hear whispers. What?
It's just real overcast.
It's dark out. It's like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. She gets a free minion out of this. I've done nothing but follow directions, so...
Yeah.
The Rite of Destruction. I want the Rite of Destruction. Should I remain silent or say give me a chance to prove myself?
Give you a chance to prove yourself.
That remains to be seen. I do take notice of your tenacity. You didn't just give up and die. Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose. Yeah, sire and child. Childy. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. I hope she just, like, snaps her fingers and I explode. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla. Substantially so. Hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley? Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. What is your name, child?
Getting a little sassy here, aren't we?
Destroya, Prince. She nods. Dictionary updated. major sect of vampires devoted primarily to maintaining the masquerade through influence and manipulation of mortal society. Let's do it. Let's manipulate. Ah, I'm not gonna do it every time. All right. I can figure out what a fledgling is.
Yeah.
Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Vamp, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Of course, Prince. You shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched. You will be judged. And if
need be?
Yeah, that F looks like a T. Looks like it's kind of cut off, you know?
Yeah, I was looking to see if there's any other F's here.
Because there's an F right above it in 4. It has much more room.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's just because of the box cutting it off, basically. Even though it doesn't. Anyway. And if need be, you will be punished. The 2 of them leave the gallery. Well, Destroya, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. I guess. Let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to new fruitful partnership. Is it bad that I think about this and I think, man, being a vampire would be cooler than having a 9-to-5 job? Like, I don't know what I have to do, but...
Assuming you escaped that initial death sentence, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. If the choice is go to work every day or get my head chopped off, unfortunately, I have to go to work every day.
Yeah. The conventionally handsome man.
It's
an interesting descriptor.
With a carafe of red liquid. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, he might not suit your taste, but he's conventionally attractive, you know. Everybody has their own taste, of course.
This is a vamp-only playthrough.
Pours into 2 tall glasses. It's blood again, that much is clear. You're in 2 minds about drinking it, but I only have 1 brain. Hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. Aha, this one you can actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. Ah, yes, this one's been aged for at least 3 years. Strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. You've never tasted anything like it. I wonder if, like, it's just one of those things that, like, winos describe wine in stupid terms, or if it's like, oh yeah, this person literally lived in a cabin in the woods when we killed them.
That's what I was kind of wondering, yeah.
Do you like it? I think New York City caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Probably. Apologies, you must have so many questions. Sustenance.
It's probably just a checklist.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my head. How much do I have to drink? It will never go away. You will always be tempted to have more, unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that is a one-way road to losing your humanity. And you need humanity so you can summon for bosses. Best start by just taking a simple sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious.
What's the entry for vessel? Curious if it's like a designated person.
A source of blood for sustenance or pleasure, primarily mortal. So probably a living person.
Yeah.
They might have them chained up or something.
Yeah.
Now it's like, 8 hours working for the man or 8 hours chained up and getting my blood sucked just a little bit every now and then.
I mean, I'd probably work for the man in that case.
Some days.
8 hours chained up does not sound fun.
Well, I mean, they don't have to chain you up, I bet. If you could, like, play video games and they just drink your blood every now and then, that sounds fine to me, you know?
I'll have to see more.
It depends how much blood, again, you know, that kind of thing. Like, does it hurt? Can they, like, put a little bit of anesthesia or something? I don't know. Honestly, I've had days that were way more painful than having somebody bite into my neck and drink my blood. They're few and far between, but...
Yeah.
Voracious. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Tomorrow I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. That beast you mentioned, is that a metaphor, or...
It's raining.
It is raining. But the acid rain melts vampires. This much we know from Legacy of Kain. Oh, it's quite real, although not in a strictly physical sense, so it's a metaphor. Thank you. It lives in all of us, our nature and hunger manifest. Those more religious among us connect it to the biblical Cain, the rage of the first murderer cursed by God, seething in all his descendants. I wonder how common that is, as the progenitor of vampires being Cain, because that's I hear that
often enough,
but it's not all the time. Yeah, like usually it's like Vlad the Impaler, you know, who just killed a lot of people. Yeah. There was Elizabeth Bathory too, who sure maybe some people may have exaggerated, but those were some pretty vivid exaggerations, you know? Like, did they pay a poet to make those things up? Because that's some pretty messed up stuff, you know? Also, is Cain normally spelled with an E? I don't think it is. I think it's just C-A-I-N.
Yeah, I think I typically see it without an E, but...
They like to add E's for embellishment, so... I, however, am a child of the Enlightenment. Aha, so we will be discussing John Locke. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be wary like every other kindred in the city and beyond. They're just dumping entries into my dictionary every couple of clicks. Unique relationship to their beast. What yours is going to be remains to be seen. But you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not you, but also the masquerade. The habit or tradition of hiding the existence of vampires from humanity. Good idea. Designed to protect vampires from destruction at the hands of mankind, the masquerade was adopted after the medieval Inquisition claimed many kindred unlives. And also innocent people, probably. You know, just to be real. I mean, the Salem witch trials probably didn't get very many real witches, even in a world with witches. Yeah. Their methods were not ironclad.
Not very discriminatory.
Yeah, like that guy that got squished. Okay. The gallery's now almost empty. Everybody's given up on caring. I'm being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs.
Jalopy or jalopy?
I've heard jalopy.
What is it exactly?
A jalopy is like I've heard it as like a beat up old car, basically. Like it's not a specific kind of car, but
yeah.
Yeah. It's not arousing though, more like magnetic. You find it hard to argue. Then you get into the whole like, can vampires get boners because they don't have pumping blood? Anyway. Maybe there's vampire Viagra. I don't know. Oh, she's got a driver. Okay, hold on. That driver cannot use his rearview mirror now because it's pointed to the right. He's gonna be seeing like the right lane. And this is one of those cases where I can be like, that's not a working mirror, guaranteed. That's just a JPEG. Luxurious silver Rolls Royce. So, yeah. The fact that she calls it a jalopy is supposed to be like, oh wow, so this is her jalopy. Her nice car is something much better. Broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy. Where do we leave off? Traditions. Niche gathering. Somewhat secretive. Yeah, makes sense. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts, so to the vast majority of kind?
I'm not sure.
A term for mortals. Largely contemptuous. I guess kindred and kind. Sort of like in the Elder Scrolls, you've got man and mer, where mer refers to elven folk, because they've got mer in their name. So you've got like Altmer are I think high elves. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. The funny one is Orsimer, which are orcs. They are a like special kind of elf because they're orcs. Yeah. They got cursed or something.
Special kind of elk.
And then you've got different kinds of man too, like Bretons. Yeah, if you're British, you get to be your own kind of person. We allow myths in modern fiction. Okay, I heard of that. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Vampire angel.
I'm not familiar with it.
Angel?
I don't know if he's an angel. Maybe
his name is Angel and he's a vampire, right?
Yeah.
Huh. You shake your head in confusion. I don't watch TV.
She looks a little bit more dejected.
Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up. The rational minds of 21st century humanity dictate much of our interactions with mortals.
I'm kind of curious about the driver.
The driver a vampire too? Gregory? He's a loyal servant, and as such trusted to not spill our secrets left and right. We'll realize that with time, that such help is welcome. I wonder if he's a thrall or just trusted, you know?
Yeah.
Gregory watches over me during the day hours. Sun burns our kinds, that's why we take our rest when it rises. It's more akin to being dead than asleep, as I'm sure you've already experienced. I've had that kind of sleep. Not everything you've heard about vampires is true. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water. Even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly, like Simon Belmont. That prostitute was not pure and godly enough to get us with the whip.
She wouldn't have been able to sit on the cloud.
Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze us. That's one of those things where, like, no matter who you are, if you get a stake through your heart, it's probably not good for you.
You'll be paralyzed in some capacity.
Pinned to the wall. Well, that's just another reason to have somebody like trusty old Gregory making sure you're safe when you drift away. You have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight.
That third option.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So, what should I do here?
I say go for the second. I don't know.
She's gonna be like, no.
Well, the first one is also definitely a no.
That's one of those where it's like,
no way. These guys sound like they turn on you in an instant.
It's one of those things where it's like vampires watch over their own backs, which may involve watching over someone else's back occasionally.
Maybe, yeah.
You help them if it helps you. That makes sense to me. Because, I mean, if anybody blows the lid, that does not help anybody.
Nah.
It's like Vamp was saying before, it's like, me turning you in doesn't help anything. In moderation. It's like drinking. Best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends? I haven't had one of those for many years now. Very relatable. A little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at a whim. Yes, that's more like it. Oh, great. Politics. Long-term solidarity does occur in Camarilla, but we are a very politicized, I knew it, organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain the masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority, and I am very young and stupid. The image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. And you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. I'm gonna be a henchman. Oh, stop on yellow, man. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment? Neat.
Neat.
Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. See, if I didn't have to pay rent, bam, that's already a bunch of points up for being a vampire. A night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. See, I'm the kind of guy, I gotta have thick blinds on the windows. I get nervous just thinking about people who, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna change clothes in front of this open window here. No one's gonna look. A bad idea. Back room has a comfortable looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy looking locks. No windows. Well, how do you like it? What, can I choose another? It feels too nice. Between A and C. I can be straightforward or like extra humble. What do you think?
Just say thanks.
I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow I'll take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. Capital B blood. Blood. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. Man, what are the odds some burglar just breaks in and is like, hey, I've come to steal your stuff. Don't make any sudden movements or I'll shoot you with my gun that has normal bullets.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got bad news for you, dude. You're about to get eaten. But I'm not supposed to eat people until they die, so I shouldn't do that. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. It feels strange that Vamp could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. He's Kudere, I knew it.
Yeah.
Hunts down violators. Delivers just punishment. Judge and jailer / executioner. You lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns.
I read those returns too.
Yeah, I was like, who's Columbo? It's like a Metroid Other M when what's his name? Anthony? Opens his mask like, remember me? And it's like, I've played every Metroid game and I don't know who you are. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. There we go. We're not dating ourselves at all. This is always going to be true. President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. We did it. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. Confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? Just read Dracula. Just pick up a book about vampires, dude. I wonder what the hunt's gonna be like. Are we gonna hunt people? Animals? Ooh, or rogue vampires.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Can you drink the blood from a vampire? I'd imagine not.
I don't see why not.
Unless they recently drank blood or something.
I hadn't seen anything that says you couldn't.
But it's comforting. The lack of windows less so. Well, when the sun kills you...
Damn.
That's fine. I burn.
Oh, I'd miss it.
I'd miss it only because the doctor told me I need to get more vitamin D and I have to go outside sometimes.
Sunny days are the best.
I will say that overcast days, in my opinion, are the best. Where it's bright outside enough to, you know, see and move around, but not so bright that the sun swoops into your eyeballs and gives you a headache. Hunger. Oh, Tutorial was telling me this. Thank you, Tutorial, whoever you are. Tempt the beast to take over in its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade while staining what humanity you have left. I have a feeling my humanity's been stained for quite a while. Going to clubs, doing drugs. Progressively thicker, bloody frame around the screen like the one you see now. Oh, I see it. I thought it was darkness on the other way, but yeah. As your hunger grows, so does this indicator. Your hunger may increase when you call upon your vampiric powers, or when you need to mend your wounds after a fight. When your hunger reaches the maximum level, you will receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore at your own peril. It's like a DM in a tabletop game being like, hey, I'm telling you this. That's all.
It's probably significant, guys.
And just leave it at that. It's like, I can't make your choices for you. Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, high hunger may block off some choices, as you will be able to see After pressing continue, blocked off option, continue, click, click, continue. To decrease your hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and slake your hunger. Feeding opportunity. You need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the masquerade and survive the nights that await you. Well, I made it a day at least. Nighttime. The bed isn't warm. Solia?
Excuse me.
Is that a word? Solia?
I had never heard of it.
Normally you'd stretch for a bit. On some mornings you'd probably throw the quilt over yourself and snooze a moment longer. Some mornings? You underestimate me. Been doing that a lot lately.
Uh-huh. Feels good though.
Feels good when you're not sick.
Yeah.
Then it just feels normal. The way you woke up now, you're fully conscious, no grogginess. That also happens sometimes. Nothing weighing you down, just the nagging need in the back of your head. I need ASMR. Hunger. Unmistakably there. Digital clock on the TV shows you the time, 9:04 p.m. Now, this is pretty normal. I say, streaming at 3:36. Gotta get to bed soon, guys, I'm sorry. So that's what your waking hours are going to look like now. You missed the sunlight already. No, I don't. This is a guy who does drugs and goes to clubs. Sunlight probably gives him a headache on most days, you know?
Yeah. You
don't miss it until it's gone, I guess, but come on. Come back to the memory of Vamp's exotic sword being raised in the gallery. Maybe sticking around isn't that bad of an idea after all. Keep jumping channels for around half an hour and then switch to streaming services. Almost as if the universe had a sense of irony, you catch True Blood in the flood of recommendations. I mean, someone could have been here already, you know? Is that a doorbell that, like, electrocutes me? Good evening, Destroy. I slept well. Is she... She opened it herself? I don't think I opened it for her. Like a baby or like a dead man?
Like a dead man.
Like a dead man. Curious wording, but not that far from the truth, I suppose. No use dwelling on it. I think you will agree with time. You made the right choice yesterday. Yeah, I didn't lose my head. Literally. I can teach you many things about yourself, your blood, its desires, and its power. We will begin tonight. Yeah, I want to be a cool vampire. You are hungry, yes? I'm sure you are. Our kind always is. There's only one remedy. The blood. Lowercase. The drinks we had yesterday at Elysium are not the usual way you slake your thirst. To understand how you can use the kind's vulnerabilities to your advantage. Predator and prey, huh? Grim. I know what you feel, I remember the notion, but you will inevitably grow beyond it. You need blood to thrive, there are many ways to take it, some more humane than others. Moderate amounts of it regularly will keep the hunger and the whispers of the beast away. You might think yourself monstrous, but there is a balance to be found here, just like in real life. The kiss gives the kind pleasure. You might remember this from your own embrace. Some can even become addicted to the sensation. But if you do it right, they tend to misremember your feeding. Now I want to hear about this kiss. An act of drinking blood, usually from a mortal. The kiss causes feelings of ecstasy in those who receive it. That's very convenient.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty... I feel like that's pretty typical of vampire lore.
Being a vessel's starting to sound even better. It doesn't hurt, it feels good? Damn, strap me up.
Typically volunteers from the fiction I've seen.
Like I said, strap me up. If I can play video games and just every hour or so get a little bit of blood taken from me, and it feels good? Come on. I'll, take vitamins and eat healthy. I'll eat a bunch of, like, spinach or whatever. I don't know what's good for blood.
Uh-huh.
Beats a 9-to-5 job, anyway. That's my opinion. Vampires do not exist. They are myths, fairy tales, and pop culture mainstays, correct? And then I have options. No. You're wrong. I feel like both of these are pretty important. Also this one.
Yeah.
How
about cover your tracks?
You just need to bite carefully and then lick the punctures closed. So I am like a wolf.
I don't think they've got healing saliva.
Yeah, they lick their wounds.
I think it's more of a disinfectant than anything, right?
I mean, it's not supernatural, you know? But yeah. If I was a supernatural wolf, then you'd assume that disinfectant saliva would bump up to healing saliva.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so. It doesn't become acidic saliva that melts you.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even know if their saliva is antiseptic or not, or if it's just trying to clean away dirt or whatever in wounds, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there are any like scientific studies on it. It's probably hard to organize. Like, hey, these people got injured, so we gave them like antibiotics and put alcohol in the wound. These we let them get licked by wolves.
Well, I mean, all you need to do is like collect wolf saliva and then dump it in a tray of cold virus or whatever.
That's fair. Although I feel like it's not a perfect test because the conditions aren't the same, you know? Like, what if there's an interaction with the blood and the saliva, you know? It's tricky.
Something you have to Google.
Like what if it closes wounds because it causes like platelets to build up, you know? So it kind of scabs over really fast, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As for being remembered, it's an ecstatic experience, so Kine can barely recall the details.
Convenient.
How ecstatic? I mean, how ecstatic does it have to be that you like forget? That's like, that's too much, I think. If you feel so good that you forget what happened, you drank too much. Even when they do, the city's enormous. You could spend days on the streets and not see the same face twice. Use that to your advantage. Also, maybe look a little bit less like a tool, and that might help. Feeding from the same area repeatedly can be dangerous, but by branching out, you risk the ire of other kindred on whose domains you trespass. Like for you, New York City is more forgiving in this regard. New York is in somewhat of a unique position. Many of its neighborhoods remain contested or unclaimed. The reason for this is a lesson for another time, but keep the following in mind. So what we need to do is just target gang members and blame it on other gangs. Take opportunities to feed when they present themselves these upcoming nights. As long as you hunt cautiously and respect the masquerade at all times, you should be fine. To wit, I want you to join me for a trip tonight. Come downstairs, Gregory is waiting for us. The warm bodies contain what you want, what you need. Thunder. Did you really just think of these people as mere sources of blood? Yes. He tips his hat to you. The car casually joins the somewhat thinned New York traffic. It's still busy in a way only one of the biggest cities in the world can be, but compared to the daytime commute, it's a pleasant drive. Tall skyscrapers that make up Manhattan's iconic skyline. There we go, they can't escape from Manhattan. Park the car, Gregory, will you? An empty stage with the instruments of a string quartet still in the back. A few dozen chairs. Let's start easy. A social setting like this one would usually prove quite challenging to an inexperienced kindred, but consider this evening a small gift from your patron. I'm hoping to procure you a willing vessel. Just remember what I told you about taking small sips. This one I have a soft spot for. Don't damage her. I try not to damage people, generally speaking. Heart-melting smile, and suddenly even you feel drawn to her. Sophie is beautiful. Don't get too caught up, man. Just looking at her is a privilege. Just being with her makes you feel elated. That's some magic.
I'd say she's got some vampire voodoo or something.
Yeah, it's coming over me. Edgar. I'm so happy to see you. How is your daughter? Is she with you? Oh, there she is. Julie, my girl, come over, please. There's someone I'd like you to meet. The young woman who walks across the hall can't be more than 19 years old. That's a very specific number. It's clear from her mismatched earrings and the partially faded purple hair dye that she doesn't fit this crowd. The perfect victim. I text for my fiance. I need to text her back.
Oh my gosh. This
What?
is the last weekend before November. We have next Saturday. It's Nano.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared.
Yeah, we gotta get prepared for National Novel Writing Month. Everybody, you gotta get prepared.
Let's put up the game soon.
No, we're not putting up the games though. We can't do that.
I can't.
It's tricky. You have to have the right balance, you know. I've got 3 viewers now, according to the web. Hamburger time. Love your name. Cool name. Happy to see you. Goal gives you a shy smile and nods toward the balcony stairs. You follow, somewhat unsure what it is exactly Sophie expects you to do. Seducing and drinking the blood of young ladies is admittedly not my strong suit. I assume.
It looks like Julie's experienced.
Well, they listen intently and laugh when she does. Julie sees the trouble of figuring out the next step. You're with Sophie, then I guess you're, I mean that you know. She definitely, like, you can just look at her and she's like, yeah, she'd let a vampire suck her blood.
There's something wrong with her face or something, like it.
Her art style looks a little bit different from everybody else, I think. Part of it is because she's like in quarter portrait, like she's got her face slightly turned to the side, whereas most people look at you dead on. But she doesn't look quite right. Like she's drawn with a different brush almost, a little bit.
I don't like her hair buns. Just,
no.
Ugh.
But we're not here to judge her style. We're here to drink her blood, all right? So she puts her wrist to her lips and gives herself a theatrical nip and looks to you embarrassed, but also hopeful. Yeah, I do, or what? You're into that sort of thing?
I'll leave this one up to you.
What, are you into this sort of thing? Ah, why do I look like such a tool every time I show up? I can't act cool when I look like this. Shave it off or grow the rest. Come on, man. She blushes, looks down at the floor, nods. Yep. Read her like a book. Could you? I mean, if you'd like. Miss Langley tells me I immediately suck her blood. Don't even hesitate.
I wonder if her dad knows about this or not.
I do have to wonder. She swallows hard, avoids your eyes. That I taste nice. Alright. Gonna hit you with a sound. I'm not gonna not drink from her, come on.
I'd say take the opportunity.
You take her forearm in your hands, a quick look around, confirms nobody's watching and no security cameras cover this area. You bite down gently. Surreal, she's just given you her blood of her own volition. How is this possible? What about the masquerade? You need to ask Sophie. Alright, stop. You gotta stop. You lick them clean and the 2 holes become concealed, just like that. Pale, wobbly on her feet, but happy? She lets out a dreamy sigh, opens her eyes. A few tears fall into her shirt, tears of joy. I'm uncomfortable. It's like that,
He thinks it's a condition. This happens often enough. It's like, yeah, your child suffers from a disease.
I mean, you take her to the doctor and it's like, yeah, she's anemic.
Yeah. I mean, that happens even without vampires sucking blood.
She needs to take some iron pills. This just reminds me of that video we watched about the Het Omegaverse, except instead of wolves, it's vampires.
Yeah.
Only some residual awe hangs in the air. Maybe even more beautiful. Maybe even beautiful, sure, but not your type. What came over you before? Obviously vampire magic, come on. This guy knows nothing about vampires. Edgar, dear, it was splendid talking to you, but we need to get going. Give Julie my best wishes. Come with, Destroya. How are we supposed to blend in with society if you talk like a strange person? Come with. I can tell from your look that you took the opportunity. Good for you. That girl is exquisite, don't you think? It's just not really my type, but...
She loses the hair buns, maybe.
You wouldn't tell by her demeanor, but she has so much passion. It brings out a unique bouquet in her blood. I don't feel like I took advantage of her. I feel like she was almost taking advantage of me. I'll just say her blood was delicious. I could barely stop myself from drinking more. I'm glad you did. She is one of my favorites. Consider tonight special in this regard. I do not share her with just anybody. Now I feel like I'm taking advantage of people. That just feels kind of weird. There's the obvious, like, sexual metaphor with vampirism, you know? It's not too often I share my best girls with people, you know? Training wheels off this time. Flushing Meadows, please. That doesn't sound good. Flushing? What did you do to the people back there? That old trick, just the blood, capital B, doing my bidding. We all have our talents. Some of them come from the legacy we inherit from our sire. Others can be learned with experience. So I've got Latina powers, then. I can sway people or make them fear me. I can see more of the world and in greater detail than some kindred. I can will my body to move with unparalleled precision and grace, and more. This sounds like fancy talk. I can see more of the world and in greater detail. Maybe she can, but that sounds like something like, oh yeah, I've got special eyes. I can see really well. You can't be like...
She's got x-ray vision.
You can be like, okay, then what's that over there? And she'd be like, this. What? I don't have special eyes. I can't tell, you know? I can't test that. All of these skills make me who I am. They also help me hunt. Time will tell. You need to discover them yourself. When we arrive, experiment. Give different things a try. Follow your instinct and intuition. It will guide the blood. May the good blood guide your way. Always keep the masquerade in mind, however. It is all fine if you can disappear in plain sight or command animals with your mind. Yes! But save those overt talents for the right place and time.
Wonder how these people would feel if we had a bloodborne mashup with them.
I wonder. It only takes you half an hour to reach the park at this time of the night. Both you and Sophie leave the car, with Gregory left behind to find a parking spot and keep an eye on the car. Sophie seems deep in thought. She takes in the surroundings with a dreamy gaze. The sky is surprisingly clear tonight. The stars just barely visible in the light-polluted aura of the city. Yeah, no kidding. Look at that friggin' streetlight right there. It's just blinding. I'm surprised we can see anything in the sky out there. There's stars all over the place. I feel like having a snack myself. I'll be by the fountain. Go look for somebody to your liking. See what effects you can achieve with your blood. But only pick one victim. Just one, and come back. Alright, I don't want to be like racist or sexist here. We gotta be careful about how we choose our prey. We don't want to put those factors into consideration, you know? It's gotta be, you know, just time and place.
I feel like everyone's equal when you're sucking their blood.
Maybe.
I mean, think about it. You're a strange man wandering around in the park at night. That's already suspicious.
It's one of those things where it's like, young woman secluded by herself, or man in, like, padded clothing who appears to be carrying a gun openly. Who should I target? Looks like you have a few choices. Just taking a stroll around the park and finding an isolated jogger or someone like them would work. Focusing on one area might work better. New York State Pavilion might work as a secluded spot. There's a skate park nearby. Worst case scenario, there's bound to be some unfortunate wino around. I would love to take out an unfortunate wino. Or maybe the tennis courts. See, someone healthy would be nice. Late night match. They won't be alone, but they might be tired and let their guard down. That seems like a bad idea. Like a 2-player game. Just, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, did you see that? Oh, it's not. She told me specifically to pick out one person. All right, I'm not going for the tennis guys. Alrighty. The now familiar hunger. All right, We got lots of choices. I'm not gonna not feed. Come on, I gotta do this. She told me to. Tennis courts, bad idea. Pavilion or park?
Let's do park. That pavilion's decrepit after all.
2 soccer fields. Circle around where the fountain of the planets once awed visitors with spectacle before coming across an opportunity. A woman, a small duffel bag on her arm, is making her way through the park in a hurry. She doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. Presence. Focus her attention. Use the force, destroy it. It feels ridiculous. Confidence, yes! Magic vampire powers, here we come. Catch the woman's eye. She flashes an unsure smile, almost in spite of herself, as she passes you by.
Gotta use the magic word here.
Please. Abracadabra. Yes, what is it? Oh man, she looks mad. What did I do to you?
Sweaty.
Why are you so mad at me?
She knows.
Hot, excited, fast flowing. Bliss. Steps.
Hoodlum.
I heart beer. Barging in on my turf like this, lick. He's got a Mikey shirt.
Does it say Mikey?
It says Mike with an M.
Uh-huh.
How do I approach this guy? Because realistically, he looks like a tool.
Yeah.
At least as much as me.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, you gotta exert your dominance. If you gotta start at the bottom. I heart beer looks like a good place to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't.
So I gotta exert my dominance over him because he's gotta be at the bottom?
Exactly. Like, if you let him push you around, everyone's gonna walk all over you.
Alright, so piss off or else.
Oh, come on. He's obviously a vampire. He has the cap specifically to show off his eyes. You really are an idiot. I'm sorry. Not you, but...
Beer. Save me the whole masquerade song and dance. I know what you are. Now talk before my posse shows up and we beat it out of you. Your posse, really? I feel like at this point I can throw my weight around. I don't want to just be like, oh, you're a chump. So...
yeah, I don't think you want to do number 2, because he's just going to be like, oh, that stupid little outfit, well, I'm with this other, bigger, meaner group. And it's like, damn, I don't know who they are. Let's do Sophie.
Doesn't ring a bell. Sounds fancy, though. Or perhaps an attempted
I'm nervous, Tick.
What would Callahan do to you if I brought you in, huh? Break your shins? Leave you out to be kissed by the sun? Ooh, concrete shoes, maybe. He's old school like that.
Alright, we gotta fight him now. Beat him up. Ha! Celerity. Run back to Sophie fast. You don't want to call for help, for sure.
I don't want to call for help. I feel like attacking him at this point might be a bit overkill.
It's true.
Because we don't want to. We don't want to cause trouble. Our sins are her sins. So if I go back to her, just be like, "Hey, I was feeding, and some guy tried to hustle me."
Feels like a wimpy move, but I think it's probably the smarter one.
Yeah. I'm faster than him anyway. Now I just need to harness that and then run into him so he explodes. I'll destroy it. How did it go? Thought you could run away from me, Lick? Think you'll be safe with your friends? Well, I have friends too. We're gonna come here with our guns. You look like a redneck. What are you doing in New York?
Oh, I'm sure they're everywhere.
He makes a motion to shout, but two things happen almost at the same time. I'm guessing Sophie disappears, and this guy dies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe she's gonna be more diplomatic about it. That's a good approach. Nice.
Dang.
I see you've made a friend destroy. A curious choice of company, I would say. Who is he? You mentioned a Callahan. Hoodlum is Anarch, then? He had to have picked his own name.
Yeah.
Corona Park has not been claimed by any kindred, last I checked. Let's go to the car. We'll put him in the trunk and present him to Vamp tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be delighted to make this Unbound's acquaintance. Ooh.
I wonder if he's paralyzed as long as that stake is in there.
Yeah, I bet he is. And that's why you need to have a human friend around to pull it out for you.
Yeah.
It's fine. A half-decent smartphone and streamed online. Caveats. I'll pick you up tomorrow night, same as tonight. I have some business to attend to at Elysium. She's gonna go drink Theseus's blood. I expect you to accompany me. Plus, our friend in the back needs to be properly introduced to Vamp and the Prince. I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say to the court. Save it for court. Anything you have to say can and will be used against you. Sophie is clearly a woman of many faces. What do you think? Is it too aggressive? The guy's basically a gang member.
Yeah.
Good
I guess,
riddance.
although all the vampires kind of give off that vibe. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Vamp will enjoy it too, I'm sure. I think so, yeah. I'm glad. Good night. Well, okay. With a body in the trunk right in the middle of Manhattan. Honestly, probably not the only one. For being real here, Manhattan's a big place. There's probably, I guess, at least 2 or 3. Any given day. Yes, almost certainly. Your haven is just as you left it hours ago. Although the sun won't come up for some time, you feel tired. You learned something about yourself today, and it'll take time to process. I run fast, and I'm...
It's got a little bit of the glamour.
A little bit charming. So it's just like real life. The sun burns my skin. I've got just a minor amount of charm, and I can run fast.
Hey, if you're a vampire, let me know, alright? Like, I feel like we've been roommates for too long.
I've gone outside, and it was fine. For short intervals.
You haven't burst into flames so far that I've seen.
If I'm out for more than an hour or so, it won't be flames, but one time I told you my sister Freckles, she does freckle first, and then she burns. One time she fell asleep outside when we were on vacation, and you've seen lobsters, right? Oh man, glad it wasn't me. She was like, why didn't you wake me up? I was like, I wasn't there. I'm supposed to find you and wake you up. This time you turn the light off. What do people in this city know about this vampiric society? How many are willing accomplices in sustaining it? And the thug you met in the park, if he's not Camarilla, then what is he? Are there independent vampires? How does that work? Probably and poorly, if I had to guess. crossing them off the list instead of adding to it. Close your eyes. You sink into the now familiar void of nothingness. It greets you with open arms like an old friend.
Hello, darkness, my friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Had to. Alright. I think I might want to take a break here. Maybe play a different game. I played a decent amount of this. It's pretty fun so far.
Oh yeah.
I've had a lot of choices. It's one of those where like I don't know if they've railroaded me because all the choices seemed like really bad ideas, or if I could have done them and had like vastly different outcomes, but they just seemed like really bad ideas at the time.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting, and I'm excited to play more. I know it's focused on decisions that you make, so
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. So I'll save an exit for now. We still got a couple of people watching. I'll put on an ad, assuming it works. I don't know why these ads don't always seem to work. And then I'll get ready to play another game shortly thereafter. So if you're still interested in seeing more gameplay, just stick around. See you then. All right. And hopefully the ad works, because I don't know if it actually works all the time. So if you guys are watching and you can hear me, then the ad apparently didn't work. It's got a little bar in Twitch, though, at least showing it, so... let's see, what else would be fun to try? Awakening Cthulhu, I could try Paratopic. Could play more Darkest Dungeon. People seem to enjoy watching that no matter what. Oh, Hypnospace Outlaw might be interesting too.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu.
I may take a break myself.
Yeah, if that's the case, maybe I'll do a quick thing, like maybe just like a dungeon in Darkest Dungeon or something.
Yeah.
And then take a break. Because I already said I'd continue playing for a little while, so we won't quit just yet. But maybe a quick foray in Darkest Dungeon. Says that I still have 2 people in the chat, so glad to see that you stuck around. There was a 3rd person who left at some point. All right. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I can't load up that file. Nobody's died. It's too pristine. It's like pure silver. I gotta play as guest. Yeah, Lurks and Thicker are the 2 people who appear to be watching right now. Happy to see you guys.
Ruin
I don't know if you
has come to our family.
really exist. Oh, I should stop recording.